Right, just a quick update here. Now, I was going to do a live stream and have a bit of a chat and just give you an update on some of the new flashlights that I've got and will be having a look at. Unfortunately, when I try to do that, thanks to YouTube and their new stupid rules, I'm not able to live stream anymore because you can only do that if you've got 1,000 subscribers if you want to use a mobile streaming anyway. So thanks very much, YouTube. That's absolutely fantastic. I love regression in technology. Brilliant, well done there. But I'm not going to whinge too much about that because it's quite easy to send me over the edge when it comes to things like that. So I'll have to record this and then upload it. So I do apologise for that because I prefer to interact with people because I don't know it all, and I always say that I'm not really an expert, and I prefer to hear from the users and the subscribers of the channel. I really do, because I learn a lot from you guys, and I like that interaction. You know, I'm always learning. So it was just a quick update, just a few of the items which I'm going to be looking at shortly, when I get time, that is, depending on what I have to do this week. I've virtually finished the review of the Untitled Prime C1, which very impressed with. I'm not going to spoil it by telling you all about it, but there's just a brief look at it. It is what I would call a CR123 size unit, although Untitled themselves say try and use an 18350 or something like that. But very nice light, nice tint. But again, I don't want to spoil that, so I will go into that though. But I was pretty impressed with some of the stats, like the 10-year warranty and the drop rating and the waterproofing. So I'll put that to one side. Also on the test bench, because of a user, and as I say, I prefer to hear from you guys, I was able to get hold of a Mech Army X4S, which is quite interesting. It's 130 lumens, but it's also USB rechargeable. I quite like the look of this, so I was luckily able to get a hold of one for review. So I'll be looking into that. I'll just give you a little quick look at what you get in the box here. So that must be the light there. You get your USB charging cable there. What quite interested me was the way that they used what the Hikerlite SC01 or 2 and the Claris Mini one do, where it's USB rechargeable, but look, there's no silly flap, and it looks like a little TIR lens there, but look, to recharge, there you go. There's your charging port. Now, yes, I will whinge a little bit because it's micro USB, but it's, you know, it's been out a while, so I'm not going to whinge too much. But I prefer to have a charging mechanism behind a threaded and O-ringed section, which that is. So fantastic. And look, that's quite nice and large for key rings. So impressive, nice to see. This isn't functioning because I think there's a little thing in there. And this uses, again, like the Claris Mini one, you can actually get at the battery. So again, longevity of the unit, so you don't have to just think, well, once the battery's dead, we're done. That's not the case. That's come out there. So it's the tiny little 10, if I can get it to focus there, the 10180, little 3.7 lithium ion there. So it looks like an exciting unit. I'm looking forward to having a look at that. So I'll pop that back on there. But again, these aren't reviews. I'm just displaying what I have to look at upcoming. So I'll pop that back in there. Also, I will be looking at the Nightcore. I think I discussed this with Jimmy Mack. It's the nu05. Now, they call it a headlamp mate. Now, I'll show you why they call it a headlamp mate rather than a headlamp. So, if you look at the size of this in comparison to something like the, the big Nightcores, look at the size of that. So it's minuscule. It's got built-in rechargeable there, but again, micro USB. I'm not going to complain too much. I don't like to be too negative, but I wish, come on, please, please, I'm begging these companies, move to Type-C only. You can get more juice and charge faster, and we're all moving that way anyway. It's just got one central button. You have flash, double flash, super flash, and then flash, and then you have a double. If I move that there, you'll be able to see better. There's a double one there and there, so it's a double LED. So you're not getting a lot of lumens, but I think this is probably enough. I think it's going to be deceptive. If you look at the stats, it's something like, I think it's about something daft like 34 lumens or something silly like that, which sounds like it's ridiculous. But look at the size of this. This is super compact, so you don't want a load of lumens. You want enough to get a job done in front of you, and then a good run time, which this seems to have. The only slight drawback on this is light spill. If I was camping with someone who was wearing this, I'd probably end up putting a bucket over their head or something and saying, can you stop flashing that in my face, please? But never mind, I don't think that's what it's intended for. I mean, if you look at this, it's for sticking on a dog or your wrist, or you can use the red light function, you know, something like that on the back of your bike. I know there's a lot of people who watch this channel who've got bikes. They might be interested in this, and I would consider you'll probably get a good run time out of that. Or you can stick it on the back of your head in case you get lost. So put that to one side, and I'll also be looking at, I don't know if many people even know this exists yet, but Convoy have done it again. They've come up with something new. So this time, this is their take on the headlamp. So essentially it's going to be an S2 really, isn't it? But with a 90-degree function. Now, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? Can you remember my review of the Skill Hunt HO3, which I have here? Do you see the similarities? The heatsink design, the knurling looks very similar. There's a size difference, but S2s were always chunky. I find Convoy stuff, it's reasonably chunky. It's not silly. Now the difference is this is a TIR like the Olight that I had, but this is an orange purifier. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like and how many modes they've got. They've even got the same metal bit around the power button. That's interesting. Although it's see-through, I wonder if there's an LED component there which gives you some sort of feedback. I don't have a battery in. I'm literally just showing you out the box. So I will review these properly at some point, but I just wanted to give a channel update. And as I say, I'm a bit angry because I like the live streams because I like interacting with people, but unfortunately YouTube have decided unless you've got at least 1,000 subscribers, get lost, which is a bit unfair because this channel has never been about, I want 1 million subscribers and I want people to press the like button and think. I never ask for subscribers, and I never tell people what buttons they should and shouldn't be pressing, either liking something or disliking something. I think it insults the intelligence of the viewer, and it's not my cup of tea. But obviously when I do eventually get to 1,000, I'll be able to do the live streams again. So I do apologise for that, but that's YouTube's fault. So there's some little upcoming things, and there's nothing else I really need to cover other than I've really finished looking at the Rofus stuff. I've had enough of Rofus for now. In fact, I've got one knocking about. You know, this was the TC one, which the batteries suck from the units that I've looked at anyway, and my testing shows that they're rubbish. So unfortunately, I can't recommend these anymore, even though my initial review was good. So I've changed the wording on that, and I've put a warning on saying that people need to check my secondary review. I mean, they may have fixed this issue now, which is absolutely fine, but people need to be aware of that. So, and I always stand by my word in my review, so I've updated that. So I would have liked to have had a chat with people, but I can't. So thanks very much, YouTube. But thank you very much for tuning in, and probably by the weekend the review for the Army Tech will be up. Very interesting unit, very, very interesting. I rather like the tint. So thank you for joining me.